And we are back. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's your good pal, Jeremy Dog Danley, live from Las Vegas, with another edition of the Bar Comedy USA News live stream. Thank you for that wild round of applause from the fake in-studio audience. And I also want to give a big shout out to the Pub and Grub Comedy Tour headliners and superstars. Headliners and superstars. This last weekend, it was a weird weekend. You had Easter. That's always a sleeper of a holiday and can be a little bit challenging bringing the crowds for comedy. Yeah, WrestleMania right here in Las Vegas. And it was also 420 for those in the know. So shout outs to Lee Lykin, Dan West, Doug Canny, Chris Barrett, Mike Marvell, Jerry Irby, Bill Blank, and Sam Herchak. Going out there and getting it done this week. The show in Stratton, South Dakota went well. The other ones went well. And they just had some light attendance. And that can be tough to do. You walk on stage, you got more bar stools than people. You look out and you're like, is this just a staff meeting? You know, sometimes you got big expectations and you get out there and you're ready to start slinging the punchlines. And what do you got? There's three dudes in the back arguing about NASCAR. People treating you like you're the jukebox. You know, but that's where the real comedy black belts earn their way. Those are the real world champions of comedy. Anybody can crush when it is a sold out show in a club. Anybody can do that. It takes a solid road comic headline in a room that looks like, you know, some sort of post-apocalyptic movie. But, you know, you got the comedy club where the crowd shows up on purpose and wants to laugh. That's a little bit different than the place where it's more like an ambush. You know, that's where you're not just a comic. You got to be the security. You got to be like a therapist. Anyway, you'll actually have three or four people will be there for comedy. They deserve a show. You don't just phone it in because you're working the minor leagues. You do it better. You got to play it like it's a sold-out arena in your head. And that's the difference between a pro and an amateur. The amateur is like, wow, fuck it. The pro still brings the heat, even when the crowd is dim. So shout out, guys. The Pub and Grub Comedy Tour. Superstars last week, hitting it, getting the job done. And if you want to check out the schedule, we got a lot more shows coming up at nightclubs, taverns, neighborhood restaurants, and bars, bringing live comedy to the nooks and crannies of America. Sometimes it's like being the substitute teacher with jokes. You know, you can't lose control, but you don't want to kill the vibe. If you're too firm, everybody just thinks you're a jerk. But if you're too soft, and then the crowd just becomes like a drunk mob. You know, you're walking a tightrope. You got nothing but a microphone. Maybe a beer or two. Well, that's the Pub and Grub Comedy Show. Pub and Grub Comedy Tour. Expect the unexpected. Go to barcomictix.com and you can see the schedule and you can get tickets. It needs to be updated right now, but it'll be updated soon with a lot of shows happening in May and June. And then, as well as this week, April 23rd through the 26th, it's the World Series of Comedy at One Night Stands in Waterford, Michigan. And that's 40 comedians taking the stage, bringing the madness. And you can, if you're in that area, you can get tickets for the live show. But you can also, from anywhere in the world, sitting on the couch, eating chips and salsa, ordering delivery pizza, you can also watch the live stream of that. And that's donation only at VIPTicketHub.com. Put those up here. The Pub and Grub Comedy Tour at BarComicTix.com. And that's a schedule of shows going all over the country. Nightclubs, taverns, neighborhood restaurants and bars. Special event, live stand-up comedy for people who want to get out, share some laughs, blow off some steam, have some drinks, have a great time. And it's not for the weak of heart. It's not for the easily offended. It's not for the overly sensitive. And then the World Series of Comedy, which is North America's largest comedy touring festival competition. And that's this week, the 23rd to the 26th, Waterford, Michigan, one night stands. Go to VIPTicketHub.com. And we'll be back for more Bar Comedy USA News later on. I'll let you know when. Stay tuned. More to come. Take care. Dog bless America.